Rather troublesome at the old house. Ever since young Stanhope married that... Oh, well, no matter. Here we are. I'll knock.
You're too late, too late. Why didn't you come sooner?
Oh, come now, John. Pull yourself together.
Oh, but...
Why did you telephone Constable Harrison?
Father's dead. He's dead. They murdered him.
Dead? Jack Stanhope dead?
Yes. This morning there was a letter addressed for Father, and it was a threat from someone to kill him if he didn't leave 1,000 pounds at the old willow tree by 5 o'clock this afternoon. There was no name signed.
Well, go on.
I showed him the letter and suggested he call the police, but he wouldn't. And finally, tonight about 9 o'clock, I was so frightened that I called Constable Harrison myself.
And between the time you called and now it happened?
Yes.
Where's your father?
We found him in the library. Come.
Very strange, Constable. Very strange.
Can't you make anything of it, Doctor?
Very little. You see, there are no marks, not a single mark of violence on the body.
Owning a rental property sounds like a dream until you realize how much work goes into getting it ready. Determine a competitive rent price, market the property, schedule the showing, screen tenants, draft up the lease, set up rent collection, handle maintenance requests, maintain tenant communication. Whew, sound complicated? Renters Warehouse is here to take the hard work off your rental to-do list. Qualified tenants? Check. Rent collection? Check. Maintenance coordination? You got it. Go to renterswarehouse.com for a free rental analysis to find out how much your home can rent for. Or call 952-444-6996 because from now on, the only thing you need on your to-do list is to call Renters Warehouse.
You're free now. Free to fill your feed with impossibly chunky chonkers who chonk harder than you ever thought possible.
Cats, corgis, babies, baby penguins, baby pandas, chunky baby pandas.
Free to make your smart devices do silly things. Free to open a world of remote work and a portal into Gametopia.
Who's the boss now?
Free to be everything you imagine, and then some. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber Internet. Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service in select locations only.
He wasn't stabbed. He wasn't shot. I'm quite sure he wasn't poisoned. How was he killed? How?
Sure, and I'd like to get my hands on the spalpeen that did it.
In good time, Constable, in good time. Oh, good evening, Mrs. Stanhope.
Good evening, Doctor. I'm sorry that we must meet again under circumstances such as these.
Your father-in-law was an old friend of mine, Mrs. Stanhope. John, are you sure no one was here today but yourselves, Mrs. Stanhope, you and your father?
Yes, I'm sure.
Strange, very strange.
Doctor, what do you make of that drop of water we found on old Mr. Stanhope's cheek, right below his eye?
As I say, I make nothing of it. It's all too deep for me. Have you had a look for footprints outside the window?
Well, I'm afraid the snow's covered them by this time if there were any, but I'll have a look.
No, wait. I'll look.
I'm quite sure you'll find no footprints out there, Doctor. I would suggest that you call in the regular police.
We might as well have a look around first. This window is certainly hard to open. Frost has got it, I suppose. What's this?
Let me see. Why, it looks like someone's fingernail.
It is a fingernail, Constable. Someone broke it trying to open this window. And from the inside.
Why should anyone want to open the window from the inside?
I don't know, unless... Yes, of course. The drop of water. The absence of any wound. Of course, that's it.
What are you talking about, Doctor?
Jack Stanhope was killed with an icicle, Constable.
Are you insane, Doctor? How could anyone kill another with an icicle?
You ought to know, Mrs. Stanhope, since you killed him.
It's a lie.
It's the truth. He couldn't die quick enough for you, could he?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'll tell you. Your husband's allowance wasn't large enough. You wanted his father to increase it. He wouldn't. You couldn't wait till John inherited his patrimony. You had to kill to get it at once.
No.
You sent a threatening letter to throw suspicion elsewhere.
You'll have to prove every word of this, Doctor.
I intend to, Mrs. Stanhope. You broke an icicle from the legs outside the window. The mark still shows where you broke it. With that icicle, you pierced John Stanhope's brain through the eyeball.
Sylvia!
It's a lie, a big lie.
Let me see your hand, Mrs. Stanhope.
I refuse.
You forced me to employ methods.
Beast, let go my hand.
You see, Constable, this fingernail which I found on the windowsill was broken from Mrs. Stanhope's index finger. It not only fits pretty well, but bears the same polish. Your handcuffs, Constable.
Let me go. Let me go.
It's a pretty hand, Mrs. Stanhope. Too bad we have to spoil them with these bracelets.
Oh.
You've been listening to the GSMC Classics series, part of the Golden State Media Concepts podcast network. Follow us at www.gsmcpodcast.com and find all of our timeless programming by typing GSMC Classics into any podcast app, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and more. Remember to subscribe to the GSMC Classic Series podcasts of your choice to stay up to date on new episodes. And if you could take a minute to give us a nice review, that really helps us to get this ageless programming out to others who would enjoy it just as much as you have. Check out all of our GSMC Classic Series podcasts. Whether you're in the mood for comedy, romance, adventure, history, science fiction, horror, or anything in between, the GSMC Classic Series has you covered. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program on the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network.
Owning a rental property sounds like a dream until you realize how much work goes into getting it ready. Determine a competitive rent price, market the property, schedule the showing, screen tenants, draft up the lease, set up rent collection, handle maintenance requests, maintain tenant communication. Whew, sound complicated? Renter's Warehouse is here to take the hard work off your rental to-do list. Qualified tenants? Check. Rent collection? Check. Maintenance coordination? You got it. Go to renterswarehouse.com for a free rental analysis to find out how much your home can rent for. Or call 952-444-6996 because from now on, the only thing you need on your to-do list is to call Renter's Warehouse.
You're free now. Free to kick back, relax, and stream beyond your wildest dreams.
Rom-coms, slasher comps, space operas, space westerns, cupcake bake-offs on Mars.
Free to fill your feed with impossibly chonky chonkers who chonk harder than you ever thought possible.
Cats, corgis, babies, baby penguins, baby pandas, chunky baby pandas.
Free to make your smart devices do silly things.
Bowl of chips on the robo-vacuum.
And master devices that have no business being smart.
Smart forks, smart toothbrushes, smart tortilla makers.
Free to open a world of remote work and a portal into Gametopia.
Who's the boss now?
Free to be everything you imagine, and then some. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber. Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.